find someone.
Hi guys, welcome back over to my channel. Today's video we're going to be upgrading Bottom and I'm so excited about it. If you didn't know who Bottom is my supposedly honey blue-eyed white tree frog. If you're wondering why supposedly, you can watch the entire video of me getting him. But today we're going to be upgrading him from a 5-gallon to a 10-gallon tank. He has put on at least like 3 or 4 grams now that I've gotten him about 2 months ago, and he's just doing really well. He's eating consistently, he's growing, so I just thought that the time was pretty right to finally upgrade him now that he's gotten a bit bigger. This was so fun to do because this was the first ever background I've made, so if it looks a little bit messy or a little bit like just kind of a mess, that's why. It's my first time doing this, and this was just supposed to be a tester tank because I didn't really care about this tank that much, and I ended up really liking it and decided that I wanted to put Bottom in it. So I'm just going to quickly go over what I basically did to the tank to get it to this point, and then we're going to start putting his substrate in and all the decorations, and then we're going to put him in it. I just really quick want to go over everything I use because I know I'll get questions about it. I first used expanding foam, which before it cures and seals itself, while it's still sticky, it is toxic, so you can't put the animal in the tank for at least 5 to 7 days, so I heard. So that is why I have waited 8 days to do this. Then I took little pebbles, and while the expanding foam was still wet, which kind of didn't work well because the expanding foam kind of dries, so it doesn't hold on to stuff very well, but I did put a few decorations in and a few pebbles on the back of the wall, and it held most of them. Some of the pebbles did fall off, so I used some silicone to silicone some of them back on, and then I used silicone to silicone the rocks in, a little ledge in, a couple cups in so he could sit and stuff. I put this little vine in with silicone, and I think it turned out pretty well. I really like the design of it, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So yeah, that's basically all I did, and then I just completely left it to dry and everything like that for like a few days, and then I took grout in a brownish tan color. I added more water than you're supposed to, and that makes a paint consistency, so if you don't want the expanding foam to be white or cream color, you can just paint over it, and I recommend doing like 2 or 3 layers, but I only did 1, so some of the white's still showing and it's really light in color, but I'm still much happier than I was with the white. So now that everything's out of the way and I've explained this, let's go ahead and start transferring Bottom into it. So I decided to change a few things up, so I ended up bringing this more to the bottom so he could easily climb up it, and I also added another little one of those black like tubey type things for him to climb easy. So it is now time. So now it is time to put my little baby in his new enclosure. He is the most darling little boy, and I just absolutely am so obsessed with him. He's just the cutest. I mean, look at his little face. So it is now time for Bottom to go in his enclosure. That's the first place he decided to go, underneath his ledge. So I'm gonna leave him and let him, you know, get acclimated and everything like that. Obviously, as you can see, there's still some like stains and little things along the glass that I completely missed, but now they're hard. So it was kind of a more experiment, but I ended up liking it. So yeah, I'm hoping he ends up sleeping in these little cups because I think they're really cute. So he's sitting in his little tube. Oh my god. Oh, my heart. He's so cute. This stays very secure at the bottom, but since it is supposed to be a top tank, what I did to keep the door on but also come off if I want is I just used elastic. So basically there's just a piece underneath the door here, and then there's this piece up here, so it stays tight in, but if I do want it down, it can come down, and then the bottom just stays very secure. But he's just sitting in this little tube now, just probably going to acclimate, so I'm going to leave him be for the rest of the afternoon and just let him just hang out and get acclimated to everything. Well, that is it for the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed honestly making the background, and it was honestly time for an upgrade for him. It might be a little big, but I didn't really want to put him in like a 7-gallon, which would be an in-between. He'll be in this tank for quite a while. He'll probably be in this tank at least 3 to 6 more months. He'll probably just stay in the size tank until he reaches about 30 to 35 grams, and then he will be moving in with the big boys in their 40-gallon enclosure. But until he reaches at least 30 to 35 grams, he will not be going anywhere. So we still have a long ways to go since he is only 8 grams right now. But I'm not in a rush. I'm not power feeding him or anything. He's just getting a couple worms every few days, and he's just doing really well with that. He's gaining weight well. With everything being said, I will see you guys next time. I love you so much. Stay awesome. Bye, guys.